What's going on, everybody? It's Brett, Prayer Performance. Yeah, I want to talk about the Highram, things we got going on. Originally we utilized the standard Highram. Made decent power, nothing fantastic. A little bit more top end, lost a little bit down low to the MSD, but all in all, wasn't bad. So we ended up utilizing the stock lid, put this 1-inch spacer on it. Didn't do terrible. It was enough to make 630 wheel on a, or excuse me, 607 wheel on a normal head cam car of ours. Went nines at 140, I think. So we got it back from that, and then we decided we were going to cut out this area in here, weld this on, and what that essentially did was it gave us another 2 inches of vertical height, or excuse me, 1 inch of vertical height, 1.5 almost, 2 inches of width, and then I opened up all this area to fit a 103 throttle body over the 95. On the stock cube head cam motor, we ended up picking up 12 or 14 wheel. We swapped this design on Fat Red, and we actually, over a 1-inch spacer with a standard lid with the nitrous spacer, put this lid on. Didn't change the 103, that stayed. We picked up 24 rear wheel. So just by reworking that interior, changing the short turn radius over the top and dropping it in, giving it more air, was worth that 24 wheel on a 427. Fat Red's nowhere near its full potential right now. Still hydraulic roller, low compression, all that kind of stuff. But today I decided that we're going to completely change the design again. So I ended up cutting out the whole front of it. So I know it looks kind of awkward right now, and I'm using a piece of junky cardboard. But what we're going to end up doing is welding in this whole section right here. So long story short, we will have a straight shot at the runners, and that will gain us a bunch of plenum area. So we have another lid and another spacer. We're not going to cut this one up because we know that it works. And the lower of the Hirams, diamond dozen, no big deal. So anyway, looking at some other design features and talking to some smart folk, looks like we're going to gain quite a bit of plenum volume, and we'll get a straight shot at those first two runners. So kind of excited about this deal. I think we're going to get cracking on it tomorrow. But I put the work in to the manifold after closing time today. I knocked out a bunch of customer stuff. So as you can tell, where the old wall came up was like this. So this was all blocked off. That air had to come over, make the turn, hit the front two cylinders like we've talked about in the other videos. But now, that's going to be completely out of the way for lack of, better materials right now. It'll be looking like that. So that's going to open up a ton of area, and it's also going to change the orientation of how the air gets in. So now the air will be basically coming flat across all the runners instead of trying to skip the front two and make it to the back before it gets forced down. So the front two runners and probably the next two set going to have a lot more airflow, a lot more velocity at them, a lot more volume to pull from. Because right now with the 6.5-inch runner, even though I ported it, rounded out the edges and all that stuff, it's still kind of limiting. The car pulls hard to like 7,200. By 74, it's probably down, 30, 40 wheel. But it wants to kind of tank off. That's probably more due to the small cam that's in it right now. We will be adding a solid roller cam that's a bit bigger and adding 3/4 of a point of compression. So we should be a little bit over 14:1 compression. I won't divulge the cam specs right now. But if I can add, 30 or 40, maybe 50 wheel with the cam and compression, and extend the RPM band by 500 or 700 RPM, really don't see a reason YN0DA, it won't be 150, 151 mile an hour in a daily driver at 3,550 pounds or so. I'm going to put some more weight back in the car, work on the aerodynamics and whatnot. But I'll keep you guys updated on how this project turns out, and then obviously we'll dyno test it and run it through all its paces. And you know, we've got real good data on Fat Red right now to figure out where we end up. All right, y'all. See you.